Now, if you think who would have been considered the common man during this time period, you're thinking of sort of the small white farmer who wants to move out west and buy a piece of land. Or if you're thinking in the South, you're thinking of the plantation owner. Because of this, as people moved out to the west, they wanted access to the land. And when Jackson takes office, there is notably a presence of Native Americans in the West. And his policy is going to be known as Native American displacement. In fact, what Jackson signs is something called the Indian Removal Act. Now, whether or not he thought he was doing this for the benefit of the Native Americans or not, it's very obvious that the reason that he was doing this was to make more land available for those common white farmers that wanted to move into the West. Now, there's two ways that the Native Americans approached this. The first was resistance. The Seminoles in Florida held out for a very long time. In fact, they're largely going to be moved after about a decade. There is also assimilation. Now, assimilation means that you're going to start acting like the dominant culture, and in this case, the Cherokee in Georgia were acting very similarly to other white populations in Georgia. They had become farmers. In fact, some Cherokee were even large plantation owners owning slaves themselves. Neither method was all that successful. The Seminoles are eventually defeated. The Cherokee actually sued, and there's a Supreme Court case called Worcester versus Georgia and a couple of others where the Supreme Court said that the Cherokee should be allowed to keep the land that they were on. But eventually the Jackson and Georgia just ignored the ruling. So Native Americans in the Southeast were forced on this long journey to Oklahoma called the Trail of Tears. Several thousand died along the way. They're forced into this relocation to Oklahoma, which is just a terrible place to live at this time. And even eventually after this, they're going to lose that territory as well.